Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Dream, and you are here for a sub podcast of the It's All Good show. This is all about EESystem center owners around the world. And I am always excited to do these interviews as I had a miraculous experience shortly after my back-to-back strokes with EESystem and this scalar-based technology where I was barely able to use a walker, and after 2 hours I could walk unassisted, hence my absolute loyalty and dedication to Dr. Sandra Rose Michael and EESystem as a whole. This conversation that we get to have today is wonderful, and I've been waiting for this one to happen as we've gone back and forth because this particular owner and I both have very busy schedules. Her name is Alina Maria Haas, and she is in Germany. She is a pioneer and innovator in the world of scalar energy technology. And look at her; she's just so young at just the youthful age of 27 years old. She's already revolutionizing health and wellness technology as the world's youngest owner and installer of Energy Enhancement System, EESystem. And she is an amazing person. I've got a whole bio here, and I don't want to read any more of it because it would take away from just diving into this conversation. Alina, welcome to the It's All Good show.
Thank you for having me. Yes, it was quite a back and forth, but now I'm really happy that we're sitting here and having this conversation. So thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
You are, you've done so much in the EESystem world to assist so many owners, to give so many of us a deeper understanding of the technology, and we'll get into all of that. But before we do, tell us how you first heard about the EESystem technology, and then just kind of where that initial information took you.
So, yeah, it was a friend of mine who just sent me the interview from Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, not the initial one, what I think most of the people saw, but a little bit earlier one. And it was really interesting. At this moment, I was a little bit, my rational mind was like, okay, everything what has to do with frequencies, with computers and whatsoever was not really something what I know is good for the body. But somehow it just didn't left my mind. So a couple months later, I saw the original video and had done my little research about it. And that was the moment for me where, yeah, I was really touched by it, and I wanted to just, like I said, it didn't left my mind, so I needed to do more research and really figure out what this whole thing is, because in my heart I really felt that's it. So that's it. So it was just like a friend of mine sending me a video, and it was in my head for a couple of months till, yeah, everything changed quite fast.
And it led to you opening up a 24-unit system in Rosenheim, Germany, which is between Salzburg, Austria, and Munich, and you opened in 2023.
I opened in 2023 as the first center in Germany. That's correct, yeah.
And at that point, did you decide, I love this technology, I'm really into it, I want to be an installer also, or how did that come about? Because I have to say, it's not very common for an owner to also take up the responsibility of being an installer.
Yes, actually, that's kind of like a funny story, because me personally, I like projects. So for me, as I understood or came to the understanding that that's actually something what should be brought forward no matter the cost or whatsoever, I had this project in my mind to open up the center. And as it was opened, we were with the European installer Bjarke. I just told him, like, it's kind of like an interesting job. Like, you meet nice, like-minded people, you travel around, everything is paid. So, but that was everything what I said, because I right now had the responsibility of an actually open center. And so I could focus on my center for I think 3 months. And after those 3 months, the installer came back to me and said, "Hey, Alina, I remembered you were interested being an installer. Are you still up to it?" And I was like, actually, that's not how I formulated my question, but it also didn't took me long to say, why not? Let's do it. So the next 3 months, I was just traveling around, learning it. And yeah, I'm here till now, traveling around, having my center, having now employees there, taking care of that. And I think it's actually, I'm pretty glad and honored to be an owner and an installer, because I just have the possibility to meet so many like-minded people and have the capacity to see what are they doing in their center, what they're into, what they're doing good, what they could improve. So it's really like amazing.
So this is one of the things that you and I can really deeply relate to, is that I do these interviews, these conversations with owners, and it just, every single one expands my heart, because everyone's been guided by such purity and just the divine guidance of opening up centers. I know that tonight, you're in Greece right now, and I know tonight you had dinner with Donna in Greece, who is one of my past conversations that I've had, and really one of my favorite people at this point of everyone that I've talked to. What are some of the common qualities that you find in the owners that you're meeting? Because it's, as I say, it's always been so heart expanding for me to meet. I've probably had contact with over 60 different owners at this point, and my life has been enriched because of it.
Yeah, so I think the first thing what came into my mind is the different approach. That's what I really like about those people. All of the center owners are people who have a different approach of doing certain things differently than it was before. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come to the decision of opening up technology like that. And that is the first thing. Like, you do a little bit, you think outside the box, you do it a little bit different, how you do it how you think it's supposed to be done. The next thing is definitely they're heart-centered. So they're really open. I can't explain it in words, but everywhere where I go, I just get greeted and accepted, like, hey, you're part of the family now. Come here. And you really feel like you're just hopping to a next location where you sometimes don't even know what is the name of the city you're actually in. And you feel like you're visiting your sister or your brother. It's just like an amazing feeling to see those people.
I love
so that's
that.
a common thing.
Now, speaking of this phrase, different approach, you have a bit of a different approach with your center based on the fact that you are an installer. And so kind of tell us how your center, how you do things there is a little different than the other centers out there.
So yes, because you mentioned I'm the owner, I'm the installer. Right now I have employees who will help me once in a while, but they're not there 24/7. So I did it for a really long time, completely on my own. And what I recognized is, with observing the people and what they actually need, is what their needs are, is you can't really go inside the center and after a 2-hour session come out and everything is healed. So you have a period of time where if it was bad decisions you made or whatever happened, even if it's not because of you, what created the outcome, why you actually come to the center. Yeah, we have also people who come into the center who are absolutely healthy and just wanted to enjoy the energy. But from my understanding, it was really, first of all, yes, you have people coming in, they're feeling things, something is getting better, small things, big things. So that is one thing. But it is not just going inside and sit in a room and go outside, because that's something what we had before. That we come back to a different approach right now. Before, you had headache, you take a pill and the headache is gone, but your liver is suffering. So that's sometimes what I recognize in people, what actually happens if they go inside the center. They think, okay, I go inside and now I drive home, go to Macca's, eat my burger, and then I come back if I feel bad. No, actually, yes, it was better now afterwards, but you recreate yourself. So that led me to my need for a different approach, and also the need of the people to really focus more on making more or less like an Airbnb. Like, I focus on people who really come for longer periods of times, even if it's like 2 days or sometimes 7 days, or maybe even till 10 or 14 days in a row. And I focus on the night sessions, because in the night we have 12 hours. You have two good things about it. First of all, you have 12 hours in the night. You're sleeping inside the system, and your body is actually in the regeneration phase while in the center, so taking on the energy there. So that's the double approach, what I think it's really good. And yeah, that's where I see, or where I bring my focus, and where I really experience the best results, because the people are really, and you have the time to talk with them, to guide them to, hey, what did you experience? Because, for example, if you have a person who had pain and then while walking, and all of a sudden they can walk without pain, it sounds strange, but it happens so often that people don't even recognize that their pain is gone. So I see them like all of a sudden running around the center, and I ask them like, hey, did you notice something? Did you feel something differently? No, I don't know. Maybe my mood is better. Like, okay, did you recognize that you needed to use the, how do you say it, what is next to the stairs when you go up the stairs?
Railing.
Yeah. Did you recognize that you needed the handrail the whole time when you go up and down the stairs? And since 2 days, you didn't even need that. You walk completely on your own, and you walk double the steps than you did before. No, I actually didn't recognize that. So that's kind of like the getting the energy, but also the support, and being able, because they're there for a long time. And even if I'm sometimes not there, I talk with them, I will have calls and whatsoever, to really guide them through the process. And I really like it that way.
So in a moment, I want to hear some specific like testimonials or stories about clients that you've seen personally. But before that, I want to ask you, you've been now in the EESystem Energies, not just at your center, but at centers all over the place, and calibrating and setting up the alignment and everything. So you're right there with the energies. What have you noticed in your own life? I've not met you before, except online, and you and I have had a couple of Zooms together. But one of the things I do see in you is this amazing youthful glow. Of course, I know you're just 27, but you appear incredibly healthy. So have you noticed some changes in your own body and your own energy field? What's it been like for you?
Yeah. So first of all, what you touched on with, I'm also in most of the other centers. The thing about installation is usually it's a pretty hard job. So that's for sure. And I'm most likely leaving exactly when the system is on and when the field is creating. So that's kind of like, but yeah, I'm honored, and I'm really glad that I was and am a completely healthy person. What I recognized from me personally is, actually, it was the first month after my center opened. I was just walking around my center and picking something up from the ground, and I recognized that my whole body structure felt, I can't describe it differently than more neutral and more natural, more getting back to its natural form. Like the way how I moved and behaved, it was just like, wait, that's different than before. It's kind of like, that's a change what I recognized, and it was definitely significant. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember it now. What else? I think a lot of emotional aspects, like growth aspects, things what you're able to do, like able to resolve certain things, able to grow in a certain capacity. I think when I have one thing where I'm growing in, before I had the center, I needed 2 months, and sometimes now the whole process goes into 2 weeks. It can be also pretty overwhelming because I feel like it's all faster, more smooth, but also you have to go with the process. So it's like, if you're open to make changes, you will get the change, but are you also able to walk through it and get it done? That's kind of like the thing. I think without the energy of the room, I would definitely not be able to do as much work as I did the last couple of months or year. I just flying from one point to the other, sometimes coming in the evening, leaving in the morning, not even there for 10 hours or something. I have a extremely tight schedule, and I was able to really move through it. But that's also something I noticed. Okay, the field gives me really energy, resilience, the capacity to really get back to the neutral state. But if I overdo it, it will also have an impact to my body. So it's kind of like, it gives me the capacity of doing more and regenerating in a shorter amount of time than it's typical. But I should also not overdo it. I think I just say it because that's my my point. If I have the energy, I will do something with it. But I think looking back, for me, being in the center for like, or in this center or around this energy for 2 years, most likely almost 3 years, I completely changed. Like everything in me, personally, emotionally, I did a lot of great growth, absolutely. And what I, for me now, just notice, yeah, one last thing, but what I, for me, notice is really the ability to go in this room, to relax and really regenerate quite a lot. And that's really good for me. Another thing, good that I remember it, my eating behavior changed completely. So at the beginning, I'm a young person. I love burgers, I love pizza, like many of the people. But I also did somehow eat not a lot of processed food. I'm still European. I guess we have a little bit less processed food than you guys in the US. And even then, a little bit healthier processed food. But I did eat it. And I think after 2 months being in my center, I recognized that my body doesn't want certain things anymore. So I had really times where I just could eat one thing for 2 weeks, and then the other 2 weeks another thing. And that was strange for me at the beginning. And then I recognized, went a little bit deeper into the whole, what the food is doing with your body. And what I recognize now is my food is way more whole. So for me personally, it's a whole nother topic, but I'm blood type 0. So dark meat, like beef, salad, fruits, nuts, avocados, whatsoever. That's how my body is doing the best. When I don't do that, then I will have the effect of it comes more, and I feel it more since I'm around the system than I felt the effect before. So that is really another thing, if that makes sense.
It all makes sense. And one of the things I really like about your answer is it hits home that even if you are healthy and feel that you're healthy and everything, that there are still benefits. You have no idea in the beginning what they'll be by going into an EE system and spending time in there and being proactive. This is to me, a key point. Why wait until your body is out of whack or you've got some dis-ease that has now shown up to go to an EE system, to be proactive and to keep yourself at that peak level, and then realizing in the process that your peak level was even more expanded than where you were. Now, share with us some of the stories of the people that have come to your center, some of the people that have spent 10 days or 2 weeks or a week or 2 days, whatever it is. And some of the, you hinted at it with the stairs and the hand railing and this and that, but give us, as you're able to, some specifics of some of the people that have come in.
Okay, so we had one person. It was an elderly woman. She was around about 70, 80, I guess. If you're watching and you're 70, 80, you're fine. You're beautiful and young. but but she came inside with her daughter after she had a stroke. The stroke was away for 4 months. And so she had a stroke 4 months before she came inside the center. And as she came inside, her skin was absolutely not glowing. It was gray. She was coming in the wheelchair. She was not able to understand what the other people around her were talking about, absolutely in another dimension, didn't recognize anything at all. And she was coming inside, and we started with a 2-hour session. And after those 2-hour session, the first thing what I noticed is she was looking into my eyes the first time, and her whole skin were glowing. And that much that I felt at the first second as I saw her, like, holy crap, that's the same person who's sitting there who came inside. That was the first thing. I obviously didn't say anything. And we continued with the sessions. They came over, I think, 10 days, always 2 or 3 hours, because they couldn't come the overnights and whatsoever. And after the first week, we recognized, or it was after the first week, 10 days, we recognized that her capacity of speech and understanding what is actually going on around her was way more clear. Until we reached the hour 40 or 50, I think that's the most significant change from her, that we could have a conversation like we have right now, and she was able to understand and speak properly. She wasn't, and now from 0 to the hour 40, she wasn't able to move her arm more like this, so like 25 degrees or whatsoever. I'm not good at math. I hope that is 25 degrees. But after those time, she was able to lift it way more. She always came inside the center and said, "Oh, there's Alina. I want to go to Alina and the lights." She always loved the lights. That's how she spoke about the system. She said herself that she's way more happy, and that she now, and that's the most significant thing, feels in her depth that she actually can be better again. And it was really, really amazing. So they continued with the session, and it just improved after that to the point that she could walk before as well, but just with help from both sides, over certain steps. So she could go steps, but really slow. She could go also like 5 meters, but with help. Afterwards, she was able to walk to the toilet and back in the center without help. Yeah, for sure, they were next to there, but they weren't holding. And she was just walking, and all of a sudden putting her jacket up again because it was going off her arm. And there were things she was absolutely far from capable of doing. Funny enough was that she also did alternative health professional things, like I don't know how to say it in English, but also went to a doctor to see the process. They didn't know that she went to the center. And actually, the improvements were so much that the doctor posted that on his website. And after that, the woman told her, "Hey, we were at the EESystem center." And 1 week later, he took it away from his website. But I still have the post. But so that was one person. The other people hope most likely come we have many people who come with chemotherapy even before, in the middle, or after. Not like the hard chemotherapy, some just with in tablet forms. Like we say, the EESystem is not a medical device. It's not there to heal, prevent, or whatever. Speak to your doctor, but it's just, I tell you what happens and in what conditions the people are coming. So we have a lot of people who are doing that. We have some people who had operation or will have operations, either if it's bone, organs, whatsoever, or teeth operations. They come before and they come directly afterwards. Before, because it helps the body get really the relaxation and the capacity of dealing with the stress of the operation, and then afterwards to help them regenerate and get them faster on their feet with different other things what we implement as well. Those are the things where I really recognized that. For example, we had one woman, she had an operation on her stomach, and she has getting water in her stomach. So the operation went not really 100% good. So she built up water in her stomach and it really hurt, and she couldn't sleep and she had pain all day long. She was at the center for, I think, 4 nights, and the stomach swelled down completely. She could sleep after the first night. She had pain a little bit in the first night, but that's sometimes typical because as the body is, if you have a scratch and then you need to scratch it because you feel something, that's actually your body showing you, hey, it's healing. So yeah, that's my approach, and where I really see that it helps people in their process of like getting them getting them a little bit more energy and get them recalibrated again. That's from my side.
So, Alina, here you are. You're 27 years old. You own and operate this 24-unit EESystem center in Germany. In your free time, you are traveling around assisting other people that have been drawn to be energetic pillars in their own communities. Did you have any idea when you were a little girl that your life would show up in such a beautiful way of being in service to so many people?
I think you asked the wrong person, because yes, I guess my life was never normal, and I guess it will never be. I definitely take a different approach, and I do things the way I think they should be done, because I grew up and saw the world, and I thought, okay, if I see a better approach and some people are way older and haven't done it, what's wrong? Okay. And then I guess I ended up doing certain things myself. Actually, yes, I felt certain that, I don't know if it was the the anxiety of seeing the way certain people live and the thoughts of me ending up like that, and then accordingly of that, the pressure of needing to do something else to not end up like that, or if it was maybe the thought or the feeling of, hey, even if it is like that right now, doesn't mean it has to be like that forever. I think a combination of both somehow. So yes, I like, and in my early years, as I did need to work something, I really understand, okay, for an example, if you're a chef and you work in a kitchen, chefs are awesome people, but if you work in the kitchen and just see it out of an ethical point, and you are serving fried fries, then those oils are actually killing the person eating it, not directly, but over a long period of time. And I got money for it. So actually I get my money of poisoning people, if you see it like that. And I don't like that. So I really wanted to do something where, yes, for sure, I want to be successful. I don't want to need to work. I definitely will always do my projects and do certain things. And right now I'm going into the process of, because certain people reached out to me, of helping them, but when they're interested, because of my being an installer and center owner and whatsoever, if they're interested in open up a center, to help them, guide them for 4 months opening up a center. So that's another project. But so what I wanted to say with that, I love projects, and I'm a Virgo, so I'm perfectionist, and I need to do something. But I want to do that with something what really helps people. That's it. So, and I think that was a good decision of me doing or deciding opening up a center, and also being an installer, and now just the way it moves forward.
I have to say, you have become an incredible resource for our community as a whole, and for people that are stepping into the EESystem community. Now, this does bring something up. In a world of knockoffs and fake copycat technology, share with us why it's important to seek out true EESystem centers as opposed to some of the other things that are coming online these days.
Yeah, so let me start differently. We have a lot of frequency technologies out there who are really interesting. So there's a lot of stuff. And I can't really speak too deeply about that, because I really didn't went into certain things what are on their market for a long period of time. But I know there is something to it. And I tested certain things out, and I felt certain differences. But with me seeing the EESystem, I really felt it's kind of like I don't know if I can say it, but the mother of everything. So it's like a little bit, all of the knockoffs is like, it's not a knockoff, but all of the different technologies are, like, in my opinion, a part of this one, because that has so freaking many aspects inside. That's just my personal opinion about it. And I don't want to make other really good Radomir technologies bad or something. But in regards to the EESystem, yes, I see in in the late time that, because it looks simple, but there is so much to it, and you really can screw up the whole process if, for example, it's not 100% aligned, or people really don't understand actually what they need to do. Because, for example, if you have not like in your background right now, but okay, let's use your background. Even if you, for example, have those shelves, sorry, if you have those shelves, people think, okay, you put it up there and it will stay like that. I thought it as well, because I have it as shelves as well. But actually I was taught differently, because wood is still a living being, and this technology needs to be so precisely aligned that even wood, over a period of time, with the amount of weight what is on top, will bend. So what center, and even if you don't see it with the eyes because it looks straight, put a laser up with a line, a horizontal line, and you will see a difference, most likely, of like maybe 1 centimeter. The worst thing what I experienced in one center is like or it came till 3.5 centimeters differences in the shelf. And sometimes you can't see it with a straight line. So for a center owner to really understand the importance of that, because that's actually the core of what you have inside, so in my opinion, they have to have the responsibility to really check it themselves with the shelves, in case all 2 months, 3 months, to just see, okay, is it straight or not? But I see, and I don't want to mention names, but I see as well lately that people, because they hear one person saying something who's definitely not knowledge in or certified from EESystem or have any knowledge about the whole technology, say something, and all of a sudden they act on it. And my analogy about it is always, if you buy a Tesla, what I don't know, but probably costs like the same than an EESystem technology. And someone off the street tells you, hey, I have a battery that's way better than what you have inside your Tesla. Would you buy this battery and go into your garage and change it out? No, you would go to Tesla and ask them, hey, I heard that. Sounds legit to me. Are you sure that's really good? And then they can tell you. So long story short, I think, yes, center owner, and most of them really doing a great job. They're testing it. They're really heart-centered and responsible. But the only word what I want to bring out for, I think, people who are not an owner and just visiting a technology like that is also have a small understanding of how it's supposed to be and how it should look like, so that you, if you go inside the center, even if you're not an owner, know, okay, that looks like a really good alignment or like a setup, and that shouldn't work or it can't work. An easy example for that is, we see it, I go again back to your background, you have a middle point. So for the viewers, where you're sitting, more or less, is the middle point, because what you see in your background will be at the other side as well. And you see the left and the right monitor is tilted, because you have the middle point and all of the monitors around needs to be tilted. So if you have a long wall with 10 monitors, and you see all of them a little bit tilted, the further you go out, the more they need to be tilted to point at the middle point. And the closer they are to the middle point, yeah, you sometimes can't even see if they're actually tilted or not. But if you see that they're tilted, then you know, okay, they're precisely aligned to the middle point. What I experience sometimes is that people don't understand the importance of the alignment and just put it up in a straight line. If you see that, it doesn't work. There is absolutely no torsion field inside it, no collision inside, nothing. And in my opinion, EESystem thinks it as well. It can also be controversial for the body and harmful, or not good, whatever.
I appreciate this information, and it's then becomes very important for people to go to EESystem.com and choose a center that is listed as a location on the official website.
Was this answering your question, or was I going too much into?
No. You did absolutely fine. I mean, okay, I don't normally ask that question because normally an owner is not also an installer. And so your level of understanding about alignment and how it all works. And, you know, we're seeing, particularly in the United States, centers opening up, and it looks similar because the screen is what the screen is. But it's not the same technology, and your perspective of alignment and the energetic that creates is just one of the reasons why it's better to find an EESystem.
I think one good step where I want to touch on as well is, if you go to EESystem.com, and I think it is on the site buy a system, they have a picture of a rack, of one rack. That's the other way of building it. You can have it on shelves like in your background, or on racks. It's like towers, 4 towers in the room. And they have one tower and a picture from that. So if you go to the side and look at this tower and go inside the center, you should see the same colors, what is on the EESystem side on the rack. And if you don't see those colors, then you should ask, in my opinion, the center, hey, is this actually a EESystem technology or something else? Or if you see any other colors, because it's in every center, most likely the same colors with sometimes variations. You can change something like that, but 99% have the normal programming. And yeah, that's, I think, the most easy step with knowing, are you actually sitting in an EESystem technology or a knockoff?
Do your homework, do your research, find the true EESystem technology. Now, just a question for you. You've been immersed in the technology, you know about this, you've seen and experienced the testimonials in your own center. talked to many other center owners. What do you see as the future of this technology and its potential?
I think the future of it is great. Like we spoke about before, yes, with everything what will come out, what really helps, there will come a certain times where they try to create knockoffs, but I wouldn't really think about that because the system technology works. We feel it, the people feel it, so that will grow and continue. In my opinion, technologies like that, no, the EESystem technology will really grow further, because I think especially after the 2020 time, a lot of people understand that maybe the whole, there is a different approach of what my body needs and wants, and what actually is good for my body and what not. And I think many people, what I see is, just talking about what I'm seeing, they're understanding that they have to take their own responsibilities and make their own research in what's actually good and what not. And taking a pill, sometimes it's not really changing the cause and just tilting down the issue. And you get what I'm saying, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good. And I think because many people also try to take a different approach and seeking other technology or other options. And in my opinion, I see the E-System as a great one, because it's like a holistic approach. It's not there to heal you, but it's creating a space where your body has the ability to heal itself. And that's actually what's always happening. If your body has the right environment, your body always wants to heal. Unless you don't do something what hinders the body doing it, it will heal. So because the understanding changes and goes further away from, hey, I have headache, I take a pill, everything is fine, to, okay, maybe where comes the headache from? What is actually the cause of it? Which different approaches can I take? What is actually the best thing, what I can do, what really helps me? This shift in understanding is, in my opinion, a good sign that we all can heal ourselves, and we are able to do so, and we find new ways. And that's, I think, the most wonderful thing. One good thing where you see why the E-System has such a future, a good future. Since I have the center open since 2 years, I haven't done any marketing whatsoever. It all went over word of mouth. And I think that's, yeah, for sure, I posted something on Instagram and Facebook and whatsoever, but I never worked with an actual marketing agency together. Everything worked over talking with the people and word of mouth. So, and in my opinion, if it wouldn't be good, that wouldn't have worked.
I really like that. And what you speak of really hits the point home, that there's nothing quite like an individual stepping into their true empowerment of taking control over their lives and their health and where that needs to take them. And the EESystem bringing their body into a place where it can do, as you say, what it's made to do, which is heal itself. And then the other changes that come about from that in the emotional body, you know, like you were saying in your own story, the way you eat and all of that, you're just, once you get that balance within yourself, then those other changes are able to come about naturally.
I think, can I say one last thing? One good thing? It just reminded me of what you said right now. We had one person coming inside, and really nice guy, freaking over 2 meters tall, but really nice guy, and came inside with absolute burnout, or yeah, you call it burnout. And we talked a little bit. He directly told me about it, and I thought was really appreciating that he directly was open and vulnerable and letting me know that. And was there in the center for 2 hours, went home, first wrote me after a day, yeah, Alina, I really appreciate the time and the conversation and everything, but I really didn't feel that the center helped much or whatsoever. But he understood that he has to take certain decisions now and move to a different workspace and whatsoever, because we were already a little bit going into why he thinks that he has the burnout and whatsoever. But his first message was, the system didn't help, but I understand I have to do this and this and that. And I didn't even respond it, because I was like, yeah, okay, it worked, because this being in the system triggered you or gave you that much energy, so your body could decide, okay, I need to change that. But you were so less in energy before that you couldn't even decide to do that. And actually, this guy went back to me 2 months afterwards, and he said that that was the reason. He thought about it afterwards, but a couple 2 weeks later, he actually changed the workspace. He did a lot where he was pretty scared of doing it. And he said he didn't know why he got this energy of doing that and the balance of moving through it. And I then told him, as I read his message, the first message, I didn't need to respond, because I actually understand that it was working. But it was really nice that he came back, because he understood without being in the center, he wouldn't have had the energy of going through those processes. So it doesn't mean everything is changing, but it's like you're getting the energy, the capacity of changing it. So that's, I think, a good testimonial as well.
Fabulous. And it's just that thing. You have no idea how it's going to impact you. I mean, obviously, if you go in with, after, in your process of stroke recovery and all of a sudden you can walk or something like that. But if you go in and, we've all got all sorts of things going on, whether it's physical, emotional, whatever it is. And we have no idea how, when our energetic field changes, then what that will allow to happen. So I love that testimonial. You have obviously fully immersed yourself in the EESystem world as an owner, as an installer. I know that you've spent time with the founder and inventor of EESystem, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. Is there anything else? We're here at kind of the end of our conversation. Is there anything else you want to share with us or put out there? Anything we didn't touch on?
Let me think about that for a second. Don't underestimate the capability of your body, what it can do, even if you don't think it can do it. I saw so many people not believing that they can change, and all of a sudden they did certain things where they were told they're never able to do so. So that was really amazing for my side, and I see it sometimes for myself, that you underestimate yourself or the power of what your body actually holds for you, because you're getting used to the state you're in. But that doesn't need to be the case forever. So that's from my side. Take the leap of faith. We can talk and go into the specifics of every single little detail, what is inside the technology, but nothing will compare the feeling, what you get when you really actually spend the time and really go there for 2 hours. And when the 2 hours doesn't work, then it was just 2 hours of your life. But in my opinion, that's what I always say. Try it out. If you really want to try something different, try it out. And yes, what we didn't catch on, thank you for doing your work and spreading the word. So I really, really appreciate that. I love the community. I love that you had the time to speak with me and ask me questions. But I really wanted to honor your podcast. And I heard just good things about you. So I'm excited to see where it's going in the future.
I appreciate that. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, not just on my behalf, because, this conversation has given me a lot. You're very inspirational. But I want to thank you on behalf of the multitudes of people that your energy touches, and not just at your center, but in your role as an installer also, and you having conversations with other owners, and then that permeates out into their clientele and the people that come to their centers. And then your energy, I mean, as an installer, I can't help but understand that your energy is infused, so to speak, in all these systems that you go to, that you're touching and aligning and everything else. And I think that is fabulous. So I appreciate you. I know the EESystem community appreciates you. And Alina, thank you so much for being a guest on the It's All Good show.
You're very welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and see you the next time, I guess.
Absolutely.